Welcome, folks. How you doing again? We turn it around real fast. Right now, we got Mr. Aaron Warburton of Stick the Stick.
You gotta love the name.
I know. It's all about the stick.
It is.
It is a fascinating name. We're going to find out how this name happened. Aaron, tell us about Stick.
Hey, Ron.
The Stick. I like it. Stick it to him.
So one of my clients in my other life was a marketing executive at Apple for years. And I called him up and I said, hey, I need help designing the name. How does a brand like Nike or Marlboro or Budweiser, or how do these big brands come to life, right?
So what did Steve say?
Steve Jobs didn't say anything. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
God bless him. So he said, give me seven to 10 words that describe a cigar. And one of them, people commonly call them a stick. Right. Now, in the traditional model, it's cigar. Right. But we're looking for a little catchier phrase. Right. And our original tagline was welcome to the new cigar lifestyle. And what I learned from him was that in the traditional sense, smoking a cigar, a true gentleman, these are his words, true gentleman doesn't smoke below a half an inch above the wrap, the band. It's the old English model. Right. So you go to a really high-end cigar lounge anywhere in Europe, you don't nub. It's just you put on a $1,000 smoking jacket. They cut it for you. They light it for you. They hand it to you. You get halfway through the cigar. You get close to the band. You set it down. You're done.
That's because they want you to buy another cigar. Who they kidding? It's a hype.
Yeah, that's right. And those cigars are expensive cigars.
Oh, there it is.
In Europe.
Especially in Europe, right? So in the United States, I started looking around and people were starting to nub more and more. And so we settled on the word stick. And he goes, what does your product do? I go, well, you stick the stick. And he goes,
there you go.
Exactly.
So it just landed, and we called it Stick the Stick. And
so you really came up with the name.
I came up with the name.
You did it yourself.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. This didn't come from watching like the movie Woodstock with the roach clip idea?
Nope. So I was on a cruise ship with my family in New Zealand in 2018, and my father-in-law and I were up on the cigar deck, the smoking deck, and enjoying a cigar. And this guy walks over, well-dressed, wearing a $30,000 timepiece, sits down, and he starts getting down on his cigar, and he grabs a toothpick, and he sticks it in the side of it, and he nubbed it.
Right.
And I looked at my father-in-law, and I said, if you had a cool way to do that, would you buy it? And he goes, in a minute. So we finished our cruise, spent another 8 days in Australia, had a nice trip, came home to the United States, slept for 3 days. I take my son, he was 5 at the time, down at a restaurant in Reno, and I'm sitting there drawing it out, going, okay, how's this going to look? How's it going to work? And my buddy John walked by, who owns the restaurant. I said, hey, John, what do you think about, turns out John is like a master CNC lathe engineer on the West Coast. He's like the biggest guy that no one knows about that makes everything cool.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, right? So 3 days later, I had this in production, a working prototype.
Wow.
Right. And it was like the Red Sea parted, all the obstacles got moved, and it was just bam.
Talk about timing.
Yeah,
it was blessings on high because, when you're forcing something, it's not spirit driven. But when you can step back and take your idea and just let it flow and let it grow naturally and organically, and it did. So we had it in production, and then it just started working out really great.
What a fantastic gig. Yeah. So from there, I mean, it's like a dangerous, killing weapon without a
certainly could be if you needed it. Steven Seagal.
What else did you have with this?
So one of my own personal pet peeves in the industry was, wearing nice clothes, out, you're working in an executive position, or you're a real estate agent, or you're doing something. You're wearing nice clothes, you're wearing a suit, you're wearing pants, but all you're doing is walking around with a whole bunch of stuff in your pockets.
Exactly.
It drove me absolutely nuts, right? You walk into a nice cigar lounge and then you just basically vomit all your accessories on the table.
That's exactly
if you remembered it, if you didn't lose it, if you didn't, how many lighters I've lost since I developed this packaging? Goose egg. You stop losing your stuff, right? So, I got the pencil out again, and we started drawing it up, and I started thinking, if I had it all with me, I need a lighter, I need a cutter, and then I need an accessory like this that I enjoy using, right? So we invented the packaging for it. So it comes with a scissor cutter,
right?
Nothing super sexy, just for the average guy that wants to walk into a cigar lounge and do it.
Absolutely.
Right? So there's a scissor cutter.
Job. That's it.
So dual flame torch comes out, nice touch. What I like about this lighter is that the dual flame comes together to a point, because when I start a cigar, I start it like this, and I kind of roast the edges a little bit. I don't have a jet engine
Exactly.
light my hair on fire, right?
Right.
So you tactically can light a cigar, right?
Exactly.
So the lighters, I love them. They got a nice little bubble,
Gauge, so you know where you're at.
fully adjustable. It gets bigger, it doesn't, and then it has a little side knob here that
stays
Oh,
on.
keep
Oh,
it
so
on.
nice.
right?
Hey, that's
So
pretty cool.
a lot of nice high-end homes have outdoor barbecues or pits where the flame comes out, and you see them in there with a Bic lighter trying to
get that
not burn their
started.
hair
Right.
arm hair off, right? So you take this, you light it, and you
Gives you an extra 2 inches.
who's not looking for
Who's
extra
like-
2 inches?
Hey, you never know.
So,
Barbie likes it.
and then we picked the red stitching because in Reno, in our lounge, the ladies that come in there are typically, type A, high flying executive types. They are pharmaceutical reps, they're medical rep. They
Gotcha.
they don't put up with lunch.
Mm,
They're
Right.
they're
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
ladies,
They're
right? And I wanted something that they would be excited about carrying or gifting to
To
their husbands and stuff like that. So in the lounges in Reno, we have 2 open up, retailers there. You can go in there and it's on display and it comes in a nice satin bag with a matching drawstring color for the lighter. So you don't have to open up and see is it a gunmetal, is it cobalt blue,
right,
is it rose gold? It's the
But red is
drawstring.
the number one catchy color anyway. It's the number one eye color of
I
marketing.
think so. I
Yeah.
think so, right?
Absolutely
And
is.
it's not pink. It's not these other things. It's a middle of the road where a guy would carry it and a lady would
Exactly.
carry it,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of the goal with that. But it just sits in your pocket, and you don't even know you're carrying it. And then
But now I know you have some more ideas about that because there's other ways of carrying it, right?
You're thinking about possibly
in terms of what?
Buckle,
belt
a
loop.
magnet.
yeah. So the older
Got some
older
things.
guys like their big phones on their hips.
hips.
So you
old guys.
hit a certain demographic, they want to clip.
They want
Yes.
to
Right.
the
But
other one wants a belt hook, a hoop,
yeah. So but what we're working on is we're going to put a magnet in here.
which is awesome.
And then we're going to put my 10-year-old daughter came up with this idea. I came
Okay.
home from work one day and she was drawing it out on the kitchen table. And I was like, honey, that's fantastic.
Wow.
We're going to put a 3 cigar pouch on the back and it's going to magnetically clip to it.
Very cool.
Ooh,
Right.
There you go.
And then we're going to work on a flask, a horseshoe flask that goes like this for your whiskey or your scotch. So you can walk into a lounge,
all
ask for
set up.
stick to stick,
Wow.
wedding parties, bachelor parties, this and that. You can buy 4 or 5 of them in one shot. We have wedding planners. Hey, I need a gift. It's all in one. Bam. And
Wow.
they may not be cigar guys all day long, every day like we are,
Right.
but for that event, it's perfect.
That's perfect.
It's
Yeah.
perfectly sourced. It's gorgeous and sexy,
Right.
and it's presentable, right?
That is awesome.
So that's where
So how things taking off with this on this?
You know,
it looks like a great deal.
it just started as an idea for me,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
people were asking me, so then I bought and sold, and we opened the website up, sticktostick.com, and you can go in there, and we do affiliate marketing, we do wholesale, we do retail.
Because I can see affiliates, wanting to put their name on that. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
they
so
get
private label is
private
also an
labeling,
option, right? So we can do, as long as we hit MOQ, we can do minimum order quantity, we can do
Right.
private label. For the bigger guys that have, 100 shops or 50 shops or 20
Right.
shops, we can do this. For the private cigar lounges where it's, exclusive in Reno, we opened up the Tahoe Cigar Club. And when COVID hit, we couldn't go into our lounges. So 15 of us got together, we leased the space, we frosted the glass, but because we're not engaging in commerce, the government doesn't have any oversight
Smart.
except for the fire marshal, but that's not a problem.
No.
Yeah,
So-
fire marshals.
So we have our own lockers in there, and we have key fob on our phone. We can go in there 24/7 and enjoy a cigar.
Very
And
cool.
I work in there all the time and have a cigar and do
That's
that.
great.
That's so
great.
the
It's
private
amazing.
label
An idea that happened on the ship
having on a ship.
has turned into a full-time business.
Yep, solved my own problem. And,
Beautiful, man.
it's just the best products. It seem to come that way.
It really does.
They really
Aaron,
do.
we're so
Aaron,
excited
thank
for you. I love it. I think I'd love to pick that one up myself. I love this man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I think
folks,
they're fantastic. Man.
jump online. Tell them how we can get this.
Sticktostick.com is the easiest and quickest way to get it. We'll turn that order around in about 48 hours.
Perfect.
Be out the door, snail mail to you.
Wow.
Yep.
Get yours today, folks. I'm telling you. I just got mine.
Wow.
But this is awesome. And again, think about how easy it is. What he's talking about. Your pocket's already full of crap anyway. Why are you going to add more? This is it. One-stop deal.
Yeah.
Stick to stick. Get online,
And it won't
folks.
make a hole in your pocket.
Aaron,
like that either.
Exactly.